Okie dokie, here we go again. Donald Trump was in Davos, Switzerland. He was at the World Economic Forum. A lot of billionaires get together, a lot of world leaders get together. They talk about money, they waste a lot of money, whatever. In the middle of his speech, he went on a rant about Greenland in the middle of it. So today we're going to call the Texas 10th. Michael McCaul is on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. He is the ranking member. And we're going to ask him about some of the things that the president said in Switzerland. Should be enlightening. I'm sure he won't answer as usual, but maybe we'll get an answer or two from his staff. We'll find out together.
Good afternoon. This is the Office of Congressman Michael McCaul. How can we help you today?
Hey, good afternoon. I am calling from the New Jersey 8th, but I'm calling a few congressional representatives in the past few weeks. I wanted to see if you had a comment. I know that the congressman sits on the House Committee for Foreign Services. And in Davos at the World Economic Forum, the president had mentioned, he said, and I'm quoting, that the problem with NATO is that we'll be there for them 100%, but I'm not sure that they'd be there for us. I wanted to see if you had any thoughts or if the congressman had mentioned to anybody on the staff if he agrees with the president's assessment of our allies, because obviously Article 5 of NATO, the Collective Defense Act, has only been used once, and it was after 9/11. So I wanted to see if the congressman agrees with that assessment.
Yes. So the congressman hasn't mentioned anything about those particular comments to us, but he is very strongly pro-NATO.
Okay, that's great. I'm glad to hear it. One other thing I wanted to get his perspective on, obviously, the president also confused Greenland and Iceland more than 3 times in that speech. Does the congressman think that's normal for the president of the United States to confuse those 2 places? And could you perhaps encourage the congressman to encourage the president to perhaps watch the 1994 film D2 The Mighty Ducks, because that might explain the difference in the 2 countries to him?
Okay, you cracked me up there a little bit.
I'm glad.
The congressman has not, again, I haven't been able to speak to the congressman about what the president has said at Davos, but I can certainly encourage him to convey that to the president.
That would be great. I know he's a big movie fan, so thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
They did you remember the story of how Greenland and Iceland, how Greenland got its name, right?
Yes. Leif Erikson. Exactly. Leif Erikson was like, we're going to pretend, but so I'm glad to hear that the congressman is a pro-NATO supporter. So if you can convey that the people of New Jersey 8th are also with him in that, I'd appreciate it. And thank you for your time today.
Of course. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Color me surprised. I was not actually expecting a positive response on that. So good for the Texas 10th, because I will say, the McCaul's background is a little, that's the wrong thing. McCaul's background is a little interesting because he is, kind of, he's pro, he seems pro, supporting Ukraine. but there's been like, it's kind of back and forth, right? Um, he's he's obviously in Texas, so the border security thing is a thing, right? He's on foreign affairs, which is obviously why we called him today. He is, I looked at his record, he's been pro Ukraine, but he also seemed, I thought, pro Venezuela, pro invasion of Venezuela, rather. I could be wrong on that, but this is I'm in the same place. Issues? Nope. Voting record? Maybe. Anyway, so glad to hear overall that both that his staff has a sense of humor and that he is pro NATO and our allies, because it is true that only once has Article 5 of NATO, the collective defense agreement, been used, and that was after 9/11 when our NATO allies came to our aid. And it is abhorrent that the President of the United States would act as if that never happened and say things to devalue the men and women who died from other countries helping us after 9/11. Also, I do think it is concerning that he confused Iceland and Greenland a minimum of 3 times in his speech. That's not normal. They are 2 different places. Anyway, thanks so much.